Okay, so we're back with another deep dive. And this time we're revisiting a bit of a familiar friend
Oh, yeah.
to Atomic Habits, right?
Mm.
But we're not just, rereading the book or anything like that. We actually have some excerpts from a conversational review.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it really adds some interesting layers to the core concepts. We've
Yeah.
got praise, personal stories, and even some, intriguing criticism of James Clear's ideas.
Oh, wow, that's great. I mean, I think that's what makes this review so fascinating, right? It really captures like the essence of the book, but it also like sparks a deeper conversation
Yeah.
about, the practicalities and even the potential pitfalls of habit formation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one line in the review really just jumped out at me. It said, trying to change everything at once is like trying to start a campfire with a flood of gasoline.
Yeah.
You just drown the flame.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a vivid analogy. I don't know why, but that really just resonated with me.
Hmm.
Because, I've definitely been guilty of trying to overhaul my life all at once with predictable results.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a common mistake, A lot of us, we get inspired and we just want to change everything overnight.
Right.
But as the review kind of highlights, that kind of radical approach is rarely sustainable. Like it goes against the very principle of atomic habits,
Right.
which is about making small incremental changes that compound over time.
So how does that actually work in practice? I mean, we all know, the concept of baby steps and all that, but how do we identify those tiny changes that will actually make a difference?
Well, I think, the review pointed to this concept of habit stacking, which I think
Yeah.
is a brilliant strategy. And essentially, it's just about attaching a new habit to an existing one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for example, you want to start meditating every morning,
Mm-hmm.
right? Instead of trying to create a whole new routine for that, you might just like stack it onto something you already do, like brushing your teeth.
Okay.
You brush your teeth, and then immediately after you meditate for just 5 minutes.
Okay. That's pretty practical. That's a good one. And that reminds me of something else. This review mentioned temptation bundling.
Oh, yeah.
Is it basically just bribing yourself to form good habits?
I think it's more about cleverly linking something you want to do
Okay.
with something you need to do. So, for example, the review gave this example of only letting yourself watch your favorite TV show while exercising.
Okay.
So you're kind of like making the habit you're trying to build more appealing by associating it with something you genuinely enjoy.
Yeah. I like that. But the review wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, was it? It also brought up some valid concerns about becoming too obsessed with optimizing every tiny detail of your life.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point to consider.
Right.
Because, there's definitely a danger in becoming so focused on systems and routines that we lose sight of our own needs and intuition.
Right.
The review talked about, the importance of flexibility and being able to adapt when life throws you a curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There are times when you just need to go with the flow, right? Sticking rigidly to a predetermined plan can actually backfire in some situations.
Exactly. The goal is to use these tools to improve our lives, not to become slaves to them.
Right.
If a system is causing you more stress than benefit, it's probably time to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And I think what's fascinating about this review is that it doesn't just offer, a glowing endorsement of atomic habits. It delves into the potential downsides and challenges, encouraging readers to approach the book's ideas with a critical eye.
Which is exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So for our listeners, who maybe have read Atomic Habits or are familiar with it, what's the one takeaway they should really kind of grapple with?
I'd say it's the importance of finding that balance,
Okay.
between structure and flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, habits can be powerful tools for personal growth,
Right.
but they shouldn't become rigid cages. It's about using these principles mindfully and adapting them to your individual needs and circumstances.
Great point. And as we wrap up, here's a thought-provoking question for everyone. If a habit is essentially a vote for the type of person you want to become, what are your current habits saying about you? And are you casting your votes wisely? All right, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye.